Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Video 44 coming at you with another video. So, one of the reasons why I get on here and talk about random topics in sports or random stuff that I like to talk about, but more so, let's focus in on the sports side of it. One of the reasons why I do that, honestly, is because when I turn on the major networks, if there's not a real story, like something that's breaking news, they're recycling the same 6 or 7 topics over and over and over and over again in different ways. LeBron James, Cowboys, Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, the Brooklyn Nets. That's what they do. They take a topic, or if there's someone hot for the day, Tim Tebow, Tiger Woods, whatever the star of the day is, they will bleed you dry of it. But the LeBron James topic is the worst. It's by far the worst. For 15, 16, 18 years, however long he's been in the league, they have found a million different ways to invite him into our lives just to criticize the man. And the Lakers ain't playing basketball. Michael Jordan been retired for 20 years. I don't want to hear about these guys like that every day. Now, if there's something to talk about, if there's something, an actual story to provide, let's do it. But I don't need a million different variations of who's better between LeBron and Michael Jordan every single morning. I don't need to talk about Jerry Jones and the Cowboys every single morning. After how many years of this? 8, 9 years of this, personally, I'm at my wit's end. And I want to tell y'all, I'm sick of this. I am sick of the same topics, man. ESPN, FS1, please, for the love of God, hire some more people to provide you some topics, man. I come up with topics every single day. Stuff that comes to me at random. I'll take very little money to provide you topics. I will provide you topics. I'll give you something to talk about. I come up with stuff every day. And it's like, it is a lot to talk about in sports, and I think that there's too much being relied upon in terms of formula and what works. It's like beat a dead horse until it wakes up type of thing with these networks. And they know people are going to pay attention. They know we're going to listen to certain names. They know we're going to continue to come back. But it comes a point in time where independent thinkers just want not to see this type of lulling to sleep, hypnotize you with the same names, same topics every day bullshit anymore. We're tired, bro. I am up to here with it. Finally, this morning, I had enough. Now, I know many of y'all lost y'all nerve for this probably at any given point in the last 10, 12 years. Mine just happened to be today. But yeah, no, hey, if it's something to talk about, if LeBron James involved in something, or if the Lakers is playing, or if there's a conversation he sparks by saying something, like, something in regards to MJ, fine, go ahead, speak. But just every morning, it is overwhelmingly annoying at this point. We're way tired of it. We've been tired of it for a long time. And now it's getting to a point where I don't want to watch it anymore. Like, when I see certain topics and I see certain names, I'm not clicking on it anymore. Maybe that's what we all need to do to get them to understand that these formulas are driving us crazy. We don't want to see this shit no more. At all. At all, bro. Honestly. If we want to talk football, can we please get some more teams other than the Cowboys and the Patriots? Please. Please. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to talk basketball, can it not just be the same 5 teams in rotation? Listen, I'm a Laker fan. It's not just a Laker fan. Like, you cut this open, you're going to see purple and gold bleeding all out of here. I think more about the Lakers, and I probably do some other things that should be thought about, okay? I'm a Laker fan. I'm tired of you talking about my team. Y'all topic, before y'all had a chance to run LeBron James' name into the ground, it was Kobe's. It was us. And now that LeBron James here, of course, we're attached to him, but I love my team. I want to talk about my team. I could create a whole channel off my team and talk about it for 8 hours a day. I can do that. But I am tired of hearing you talk about my team. Especially when it's got nothing to do with what's going on the floor. See, now, this is another thing. I think that sports media misses an opportunity a lot of times, with the exception of some really great analysts, people that come to mind quickly. God, I can't think of the man's name. Played for the Heat, but he's an excellent analyst. He gets up there and he breaks down the game. It's a couple guys that do that very, very well, and I love watching them talk. And if you give me more analytics guys, basketball mind guys, and basketball scientist guys, you deliver that type of stuff to me in an entertaining way, and I'm gonna flock to it every time. I want to know the game. I want to know the inner workings of these GMs. I want to know what the cap situation is on a more common level. I think we should know players' contracts as it pertains to what's possible and what's not, so that can make our barbershop conversations a bit more intelligent. Those are the type of things that we need our sports media to provide us. Not shock jock bull crap, not inner turmoil within your organization, which seems like clout chasing to me a lot of the time. I don't need to hear about who's mad at who within your organization. I want to know what's going on with teams all over the league as an NBA fan. I want to know what the Sacramento Kings are up to today. If you guys gave me a different team every day, do you know how much I'd watch that? Today we're going to talk about the Timberwolves. Today we're going to talk about the Pacers. Like, of course, some of these teams are not interesting to everybody, but it's not that they're not interesting to everybody because they are not interesting basketball clubs. Because if you think about the NBA, all you have is a bunch of players swapping teams, so it really doesn't matter what teams you're looking at, because players are constantly swapping. It's the same players in rotation, just different shakes of them in various clusters from season to season, so you understand it doesn't matter what teams you're talking about, it's the same players. See, that's where they get you with the we can only talk about a few teams bull crap. Zoom out a little bit. Players move. These Lakers could literally be the Spurs tomorrow. Those Spurs could literally be Minnesota tomorrow. So when you're only talking about certain teams, you're not taking into account it's the same players. In other words, don't look at the league as we can only talk about the Knicks, the Lakers, and this team and the champion. Talk about everybody, and I guarantee you more people will flock to those teams. It'll improve the overall value of these small market clubs who don't get a lot of attention from major media. And then they go back and say, oh, this guy doesn't want to go here, this guy doesn't go there. Well, that's because you give those teams no shine. How can we possibly be a part of the same league when certain teams get this type of attention, even if they're not playing better? This team could be a lot better, but this one's over here, and the media manipulates that stuff, man. That's not how a real sports fan views sports at all. That's not how you're going to organically take in sports without their influence. They tell you what's hot, you follow that, and then you only want to see the teams that they tell you about, because you're not going to go searching for everything. But if they bring you everything they're supposed to bring to you, like I try to do, you'll have a more versed understanding of different teams, and you'll want to see those teams. You won't just want to look at the Milwaukee Bucks. We all watch the Bucks. They tell us that we don't want to see these teams. We don't want to see these people. Don't want to see more small market teams. Lies. We will see anything you pour hype into, and that's not limited to sports, music, movies, entertainment as a whole. Whatever the machine puts in your face, that's what you're going to know about, and that's what you're going to flock to. Politics, same thing. Whatever you're aware of, that's what you're going to flock to. So if media would be more responsible to let you know about more of your options, you would have a more overall better experience in regards to the sports that you take in if you're a casual fan. If I hype the entire league and I give you 29 to 30 teams, however many teams it is in the league to pay attention to, and I mention all of them equally, you're going to love the whole league. You're going to be aware of the whole league. You're going to know what to look out for when your team plays that team, even though you never see them. See, that's what sports media should be about. But they're more so about aligning their pockets with numbers, and they could give a shit if they're educating the public or not. They just want to entertain you. They want to give you something to listen to in the background, and that is it. And that's why I don't like where we're at. Because it's really all about getting the simple mind to listen in the background. That's where they're at with it. And I want a more educational process. I take sports a bit more seriously. I have a passion for it. And I don't think sports media does a very good job, with the exception of particular analysts who they give opportunity to. Sometimes they don't even give these guys full shows. Have us sitting here listening to shock jocks and idiots that want to tell us that we need to be trading Anthony Davis for somebody who's 6'1" and 31 years of age. That kind of bullshit. It's like, that's not helpful. That's not helping the sports fan. You're not telling us the whole story. I'm over it. I'm over it. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, to provide you guys a different perspective. Even though I'm not a real basketball mind, unfortunately, I didn't play the sport like that. You got to take what I say from a layman's perspective, from a guy who sits on the sideline and just watches perspective. That's unfortunate. I would love to be an athlete, to be able to give you the insight that's most important. But unfortunately, that's just not who the Lord made me. He made me this guy, and I'm going to give you this. But I do understand, from my perspective, we got to start talking about other stuff. That's why you hear me just bringing up Philadelphia at random, bringing up different stuff, because we need to. Yes, I'll still talk about Bron. Yes, I'll still talk about the Lakers. Yes, I'll still talk about the real teams, because they're involved, and they should be spoken about. But there are other teams too, man, and I want to make sure that you are aware of those as well. So, my name is BDF44. Thank you all for watching. I'm out.